Also, I'm assuming I should keep the chat open for the stream. Oh, is it already on? Oh, okay. 6 seconds up. All right, welcome. You can talk. Okay. Dude, I got ads on this. Do I need to subscribe to this channel? Shoot. Okay. How long until the first game? I mean, if we're already live, I guess. Welcome to TAWS Amateur Weeklies. Let's go. I'm gonna use the bathroom. I'll be right back. Alright, what is up, y'all? Probably gonna get started very soon, but we got... Hold on. Okay. Cool. Welcome to TAWS U108. My first time commentating, but we already got a pretty exciting matchup. I think this is Mao, who's I've seen some of his like weird polymers, at least on YouTube. So I'm sure we're gonna be pretty surprised by the T-spins we're seeing. Genuinely, I don't know if like any other player does these T-spins. Maybe they do. I don't know. It's kind of like a one-of-a-kind player. So, what is up, Steve.Twitch? How is everyone's, I guess, night where I am, but maybe afternoon for you guys? Maybe you're in like Australia and it's like the morning. Who knows? But yeah, we're at ooh, looks like we got the game starting. This is the warm-up, or is this being streamed? Very quick warm-up round. Alright, but yeah, we're gonna get into the first game pretty quickly. Pretty excited. The TAWS U got some pretty fierce competition these days. I feel like the U rank skill inflation, or the TR inflation, is kind of real. Alright, we got the first round starting. Let's see. Okay, already off the bat, what is this T-spin? The classic STPC spin from Anubis. How do you pronounce that? Cyrus? Oh my god, and we got a spike and a giant eyepiece stack on the right side, covering the garbage. Oh my goodness. But he's able to open it up, and now over here, trying to make his way down. And is that a setup, or is that just him making a mistake? Oh, and it is a setup! Oh my god, he's able to get out of that cleanly. Okay. And he wins the round off of that. Holy moly. What the heck? Like, this is what I was saying before. This is some crazy T-spins we got going off already. Alright, classic TKI and STPC in 2026. Okay, not STPC spin. That's pretty surprising, but very interesting four on the mouse side, but he's you can't really count him out. Oh my god, very scary situation. Oh, and yeah, that's unfortunate, but that little bit of hesitation kind of just ended the round. Man, what is going on? Okay. It's a banger first game already. What is that? I don't think I've ever seen that ever in my life. Holy moly. What is going on? Genuinely. Okay. I'm just gonna call him Anubis. Correct me if I'm wrong, but yeah, Anubis over here trying to make his way through the cheese, but ooh, keep you to cover the garbage hole, unfortunately. Oh, and he gets the skim, nice. But Mal, on the other hand, is cheesed up. Can he even get his backpack to Thor? He does, but does it matter? He's very, in a very, very dangerous situation here. And he misdrops. Oh no. This is some classic cheese race gameplay we got going on. Oh yeah, that cheese is very hard to get through, and that's really the difference between, like, you know, a winning board state and a losing board state there. And what is this S-spin triple? Or not even triple. Oh, he's going for the 180 spin too. Oh my goodness. It's a banger for his game. What's up, ads? Yeah, first time commentary, and pretty excited. If anyone wants to hop on. Ooh, Anubis is trying to go for their own weird little spin. Oh, but very, very unfortunate stack on the right side. That well, the 9-0 well, basically just almost impossible to clear without an eyepiece. I can't tell if what Mao is doing is intentional or not, and that's honestly the magic of this gameplay, to be honest. Like, genuinely, when I'm playing my games in U-Rank, I don't ever see any of this, you know? Even with the all spins. These are like, I don't even know, they're not all spins. It's just only mouse spins, like. But we're back into a mid game here. Anubis doesn't really have any attacks ready. He's just sending very small skims while Mao is already cheesed up. Has to get through all of this garbage to get down to a clean spot, and just trading back and forth. Not able to really contest much here. Unlucky. Is that the big donkey, the creator of like the only modern Tetris video? That's me. What's up, the 11th vodka? Yeah, honestly, I've been thinking about making some more content, but I can talk about that a little bit later. We got some, once again, oh my god, the Super TSD, STSD, like coming out of that weird stack, and oh my goodness. Anubis over here with the 9-0 trying to get down, opening as well, but he has to break his back-to-back, gets sent to some cheese. Actually some clean, but it's only 3 lines, and oh no. Now, unfortunately, tops out. All right, let's guess what openers Mao's doing. Okay, no, I was gonna say it looked just like a stick opener. I was gonna say, but that was. I don't think I've ever seen anyone triple rotate their spins like that. But getting sent the surge spike. Both players trying to keep it clean and get down, but Nuba's kind of in a tough spot over here. But can he open his garbage well? Oh no, he almost had it, and it would have been great because he had 2 large wells, but unfortunately, builds over that. Can't get out. Is this a Trinity opener? Is that what it is? To be honest, like I feel like most people in 2026 are just running the same TKI STPC spin, so it's pretty refreshing to see like a player that's not trying to be optimal. And when I say that, he's not being optimal in his accepting of cheese. Look at all the garbage on Mao's side, the small cheese he has to get through. Anubis in a very good spot. As I say that, he kind of misdrops and has to skim over and over again. Not able to build up his back-to-back, but at the same time, we got Mao over here also not being able to build his back-to-back either. And it's pretty interesting of a game. Like, I feel like most games around this rank are decided by who gets the back-to-back advantage, but it seems like it's just very interesting stacks into just cheese and more cheese, and both players are not able to get into a clean position. Like already in the first 5 seconds, Mao's gets sent to 2 lines, but fortunately he's able to clear it. Once again, more cheese coming in. Finally some clean coming in on Mao's side. It's a 9-0 stack. How much can he capitalize on this? We don't really know. Anubis on the other hand. Ooh, also in a pretty clean spot, but once again, has to try to open the well. And sends a 21 spike and Mao out. Oh my goodness. And this is match point. Yeah, I've seen Mao's gameplay, but seeing it in a tournament match is something else. I feel like I usually don't expect people like this, and the game's just decided like that. Oh my god. See, the polymers are... I think Mao wins in style points for sure, but in terms of optimal play, it seems to be pretty hard to really keep up with the meta openers and everything. Mao threw for more money. Is there money on the line here? Oh yeah, what a first game. That's crazy, and I believe this tournament's double elim, so I believe we should be able to see another game from him if he makes his way through. But what's up, chats? I don't really stream much, but so saying chat is a little egregious because I'm a compared to most of these Tetris players. But he bet against himself? Is that allowed? Isn't that like match fixing? Like, where is Shrek? Shrek's running a little late. I think maybe we'll soon during the grand finals. We'll have to see. But yeah, what a game. I'm begging for a shout out. Never mind. Mao in the chat. I knew I wasn't winning that. What do you mean? Very entertaining game though. I think genuinely probably gonna be the most entertaining game of the entire tournament in terms of just weird setups. Because you know, I feel like at a certain point some players tend to really lean into what's optimal, what's not, and just seeing like a breath of fresh air here of style over. We should be back. Sorry for the technical difficulties. A little bit of crashing on the setup, but we should be good for the rest of the stream. If anything else happens, we'll get it back and running, up and running pretty quickly. But yeah, it's a very good first game. Cannot wait to see what we have in store for today. But yeah, do we have a link to the bracket here? Someone send that my way. But yeah, these U-rank tournaments, honestly, I think are pretty competitive actually these days. I played in one tournament total, and I think I got like third. But to be honest, like being a tournament player versus like playing TL is way different. Like, there's a lot of people that get ladder anxiety when they click the red matchmaking button for TL, and imagine that same anxiety in a tournament streamed match, especially. I think we had correct my pronunciation or whatever if I'm wrong, but Anubis said his hands were shaking, which is impressive because he won. Looks like we're gonna get our second match started pretty soon. We got both players getting ready. So until then. Yeah. Someone mentioned the video. I mean, I guess this is a solo show here, so I guess I'll just talk about whatever. But yeah, I feel like we need some more content in the Tetris space, and I was thinking about making some more videos about Tetris. To be honest, that one video I did make took a little too long. So, but I feel like after, there's only been a few creators who've, I guess, made more than just like highlights. So if anyone in the chat is like has some editing experience, I think everyone should just try to make some videos and try to get some more content out there. Because to be honest, like, I feel like there's like tournaments like this are like these grassroots efforts that really make up the scene, the community. If you think about like certain esports like Melee, like Super Smash Bros. Melee, like it's purely run by these local tournaments and things like that. So I'd love to see some more content, some more tournaments, some more everything. But yeah, on to the next round. We got Lactose Enjoyer and Festive Bloom. Seems like number one in the country. What country is this? South Sudan. Wow. So we got the best South Sudan player versus the top 100 Korean player. Looks to be an exciting matchup already. There does seem to be an APM gap between the two players, where Lactose is 120 average, which is very impressive, especially for a U rank. So we'll probably be seeing a match where Festive Bloom is playing a more defensive style. If not, then it's going to be just clean garbage versus clean garbage. We'll have to see. This is just the warm-up round for now, so we can try to identify what's going on. It looks like both players need to get their hands warmed up a little bit. Already, we see the massive PPS disparity. We got Lactose Enjoyer with almost a full PPS higher, but still at the top of his board. Ooh, and Festive Bloom pops out, but this is just the warm-up round. We'll have to see how it actually goes during the actual set. But yeah, even in the warm-up round, we see a full over 1 PPS disparity. So we'll have to see how Festive Bloom can really pull their weight and adapt their playstyle against these higher APM players, especially in TL when you're versing someone with a higher APM. You do have to realize like the tempo of the game swings pretty hard, and honestly, you can still win against a higher APM player just with good timing, with good defense and things like that. So excited to see how Festive Bloom can handle this pressure. And we go into the first round. Let's see what openers they're using. TKF from both players. We got Flat Top from Festive Bloom into LST. Loctus Enjoy going for this. Oh, interesting eye spin. Looked like he was going for an STSD, but trying to build his surge to 4 and is able to send a short surge, sending some cheese garbage to Festive Bloom. Festive Bloom now on the back foot here, trying to get down while keeping his back-to-back, but he's gonna have to break it here. And just like that, trying to hold on to your back-to-back like that, the surge, people talk about how in season 2 it's all about striding all spins, but in reality it's how safe is your board state. You know, even though he had the surge advantage there, 9-0, it doesn't matter if you die and pop out. So we got Festive Bloom with a very scary misdrop and gets sent all this cheese garbage, and we gotta see. Oh, and Lactose Enjoyer though tops out. If he survived that, he would have been in a great spot to take the round, but Festive Bloom able to capitalize on that greed, or not the greed, but like saying that one little push. Got some schemes from Lactose Enjoyer's side. They're trying to keep the board. They're trying to keep the board pretty clean. LST on the Festive Bloom side. Oh, and he tries to continue the LST, but misdrops, and very unfortunate. Trying to go for the I think the PC no these days has been pretty popular, but misdrops, but looks to be in an alright spot. Not able to get the surge to 4, which is very unfortunate. The difference between 3 and 4 surge in season 2 is massive. It's the difference between winning and losing rounds. So, oh, tries to get the S spin or the Z spin triple there, but a little too greedy. We got like a all spin opener trying to build a surge from Festive Bloom, where we had a T-spin triple setup from Lactose Enjoyer trying to get some pressure down, and oh, that's very unfortunate. Even with a 6 back-to-back, not able to clear a non-spin, or not even able to clear any lines at all, and is just dying with a surge filter, which is the worst feeling, to be honest. Lactose Enjoyer going for the classic SDPC spin with a very big garbage coming straight into the well. Able to keep the pressure, build his back-to-back up, while Festive Bloom on the back foot, not able to really build the surge. He's trying to build up and up and up, and he finally gets to 4, but can he even, oh, he doesn't do the spin. And that's gonna be the round. Oh my goodness. I mean, that's what happens when you're 9-0 stacking and not funneling, right? Oh, once again, seems like the Torment nerves are getting to Festive Bloom. These misdrops in the opener phase. I feel like most people in the opener phase aren't really or people like practice the opener phase like every game, but in a tournament you can never be too practiced, and just like that, another round to Festive Bloom. The set is not over. Even with the misdrop in the beginning, Lactose Enjoyer sometimes not having the right answers, not the right timing. We'll have to see the double up on the LST. Oh my goodness, what is happening on Master Bloom's side? Oh my gosh. Alright, match point for Lactose Enjoyer. One more round, and we might be seeing the end of the set, but we're gonna have to see. Ooh, some very suspect stacking. Oh, but he's able to get a down stack and survive for one more second at least. And is he able to find the down stack? He's not. Oh, and the extension wasn't enough. Just like that, Lactose Enjoyer taking the win in the second round. Wow. What a game. And we can see, like, even with the TR disparity, the APM disparity, the PPS disparity, like, Festivloom still was able to take rounds. And especially in a tournament setting, like, players are not able to play at their best, or like they're most comfortable, you know? It's do or die in this situation. Yeah, the Let's Go Gambling. Yeah, Rax D, I think. I remember watching his stream when he was playing. I think Osk was making I was playing in that lobby actually, and Osk did his Osk things. Like zoomed out the multiplayer lobby until it was like literally like 2 pixels big. But yeah. Yeah, as we continue through the tournament, we're gonna see some more and more competition. I think the seeding, how it works is you know, the top seeds are usually placed as far as possible, so that we can get like so we don't knock out like the second best player in the first round or something like that. So I think with every game we're gonna see more and more closer matches. But even these first couple matches have been not sweeps at all. So we'll have to see. This is the most active Tetris has ever been. Is that true? I mean, yeah, Wiley is like a huge figure that's like actually doing content that like we need in this space. Although I know Wiley's a big Tetris Effect connected head, and I feel like Tetro needs some more spotlights, which is, I mean, kind of why I made that video in the first place. Yep, we're getting our next round. We're waiting for the next round. Should be up pretty quickly. In the meantime, pretty good first 2 sets so far. We already saw very interesting playstyles so far, and I think the main thing to note so far has been the different usages of Surge. We saw in that game, at least, both players were really trying their best to hold on to the Surge and all of their down stacks. And that is something that is very, very hard to do, especially when you're getting cheesed up. And if anything, very, very risky to do, especially if you're trying to build a big surge when you're getting cheesed. And when you have like a 15 plus surge, like you're sending all clean basically. So sometimes it's not even the best situation, but we saw in that game at least, there were times when it did pay off, and that little bit of extra damage was enough. So yeah, we need like a game scout for Tetrio, to be honest. Like just having one person that creates content that, like, he gets millions of views. If we could get that on like this community, I think we'd Be great. Be in a great spot. But to be honest, it's a very interesting spot Tetrio's in right now, where Season 2 has introduced so many new mechanics with all spins, with the, like, just the change to the meta in general, and, like, I feel like, I've been thinking about making some videos on this topic of, like, I do see a lot of, discourse for, like, Season 2, let's say, like, people who don't like Season 2 that much. I think, it's an interesting thing to cover, because already Tetrio is like a spin-off of a spin-off of a spin-off of Tetris, basically. Like, Guideline Tetris isn't even like classic Tetris, you know? Like, Guideline Tetris is its own form, and then deviating from that we have like other games with like 180 spins and Tetris Season 1, and then, you know, this constant evolution is something that makes it harder for other Tetris fans to get back into. But I think it's not the other way around, where I think any Tetrio player can play classic Tetris and, like, at least, like, understand the mechanics, because it's in, like, a backwards compatible way compared to Tetrio, where, like, some players playing classic Tetris have never done a T-spin in their life. Yeah, Tetris has evolved, and in parentheses, and it's insane, is my video. But yeah, no, but that's where it makes me a little, like, question people who are like, look at Tetrio Season 2 and are saying, like, oh, this Season 2 has ruined the game, or things like that, because, like, why, like, it seems like people are getting into Tetris, this form of Tetrio that's not even official Tetris, these you know, these custom rule sets, and they, I guess, got used to the first rule sets, and when it changes to Season 2, which I think Season 2 adds so much depth and variety compared to just the back and forth ping pong nature of Season 1. Like, there's timing, there's like all spin styles, there's like more play styles, and maybe at the top level, like, it's different, but even at the top level, like, we have like people like Gohan, we got people like Turtle, we got Promo still, like Diao, and if CZ ever comes back, we'll see. Yeah, exactly. Like, I feel like, I mean, if you ever watch like Garbo's like I guess thoughts on things like that, of, I mean, you know, I believe he's working with the, like, on the team around like the competitive rule sets and all that kind of thing. It's like, how do you make it more compelling as a spectator sport? How do you make it more compelling as a just a esport in general, right? Like, if you have a game where it's just back and forth, just there's zero storyline when it's just garbage flying back and forth, and, like, there's the only optimal decision is just the same thing at all times. But in this game, it's in Season 2 at least, it seems like, you know, at least if you're watching a game, you can see the counter go up, you can see the tension rising. Yeah, exactly. Zone battle is, like, very, very good for the spectators. Yeah, we're starting the next round pretty soon. If Banana is ready. But yeah, like, in zone battle, you can see the zone building up over time, and just, like, knowing that a player has to use their zone defensively or can create a massive attack with the zone. I think that's what Surge accomplishes, but it is like magic if you never have used it before. And we got Neptunite versus Scooby-Doo. First warm-up goes to Scooby-Doo. Once again, we have like a disparity here between the two players, at least. If you look at, I mean, I'm looking at their profiles here, and Neptunite over here with a 21-second 40 line time compared to Scooby-Doo's 38, which isn't necessarily reflective of I guess, Tetra League, but I guess it does reflect like burst play and things like that. So we might be able to see some very fast bursts from Neptunite's side. But like seeing a 40-second 40 line time in U rank is, I'm assuming we're gonna see some more macro play from Scooby-Doo. We'll have to see. Alright, starting off, Neptunite trying to keep his board low and build up his surge, and Scooby-Doo on the other hand trying to go 6-3 stacking. Oh, and sends the surge immediately. Scooby-Doo on the back foot here trying to stay alive. Both players kind of in a tricky spot. So Neptunite has a lot of cheese garbage on his board, but Scooby-Doo has to try to open as well, trying to get through. Oh, and he's not able to clear the garbage to get to that open well, and the eyepiece is coming up too. Once again, we got PC from Neptunite. Looks like he was trying to go for that the 2-line PC afterwards, but got the wrong piece. Neptunite accepting all of that cheese garbage and he's in a little bit of a pickle right now. Trying to get through, is doing some cheese race maneuvering. He's almost able to get out of this. Unfortunately, is not able to. Yeah, like in the first couple seconds of the round, he was just sent immediately. Like I think it was a 4 surge of just cheese, and not having any attacks to cancel that is devastating. Going for the hide-in, trying to build his back-to-back to 4. Immediately gets it and sends it right away. Scooby-Doo got this 9-0 well, needs to clear, get down, and also trying to keep his back-to-back going, but he misdrops and has to break the surge. But Neptunite, on the other hand, sends a spike and is able to top him out. 2-1. Pretty close game so far. Very interesting to see the different playstyles and openers we have so far. We have like Mao with his crazy. It might have been a Trinity. To be honest, I'm not. I've never done that open in my life. But oh, back-to-back pressure from Neptunite over and over again. This drops the J piece, and breaking that surge is enough to top out Scooby-Doo. Oh, and we got the classic STPC on the right side. Oh, this is like the original STPC, not STPC spin, which is so prevalent these days. Neptunite accepting all of that clean, that cheese garbage. Both players in a pretty quiet mid game right now. They're both trying to keep their boards as clean as possible and trying to build up back-to-back. Neptunite, the first one to build up their surge, and goes for this. Oh, goes for the TST. And is able to get to the next well right here, while keeping his back-to-back. Scooby-Doo on the other hand, skimming over and over and misdrops the eyepiece, and he has to try to clear this. He tries to go for the 180 spin, but it's not enough to save him from the relentless attacks from Neptunite. Once again, we got SDPC from Scooby-Doo. And both players not able to cleanly build up their back-to-back. Scooby-Doo is able to, oh no, Neptunite misdrops the T-piece. And once again, even with the disparity between, on paper, these two players, like, it's anyone's game every round. One misdrop is enough to turn the tide. Has to accept that cheese garbage on Scooby-Doo's side. Neptune on a 3-surge, trying to build that up. Gets it, and he's probably gonna break it right here. Oh, looks like he's trying to use the L spin. make his way down. Scooby-Doo very, very cheesed up. He has to focus on survival right now. He needs to get down right now. This could be a very dangerous spot if he is not able to clear the garbage. Unfortunately, he's not able to make his way down, but it's a good attack by Neptunite. Both players out of their openers. And to be honest, Scooby-Doo doesn't really have a conventional opener. It's just these 6-3 stacks. But Neptunite building up their back-to-back to 12. Scooby-Doo on the other hand has no back-to-back at all, and not able to clear a single line to open up the well, and just like that. And this is where people, I think, are saying, look at that, and they say like, Season 2 is all about just striding all spins, but in reality it was just a great board from Neptunite and a bad board from Scooby-Doo, and like that's the difference. And as we say that, Neptunite, on the other hand, immediately misdrops and gets punished. Oh, and he gets the SDPC. The actual PC in 2026 is very rare to see these days. On the other hand, Neptunite building his stack, but that 7th column is very, very hard to get to with all this, all those lines on top of it. But is able to get a good down stack and top out, almost top out, top out his opponent to win the set, move to the next round. Yeah, we're seeing a lot of misdrops from both players, and honestly, that's to be expected in tournament matches. I feel like it's a completely different game. It's like, yeah, GG's to both players. Yeah, I see some discussion about Season 2 mechanics. It's, I think the strategy between offensive and defensive play, I think, is something that I think is very, very much like there should be a reward for playing smart. I feel like if you have a rule set that just encourages basically playing monkey type in a multiplayer game, it doesn't matter about the player interaction. I feel like that you lose some of the charm of a 1v1 game. Like if you take any fighting game, that's like the sickest part about fighting games, and like to most fans, and including myself, is the neutral game, the footsies, the mind games and things like that. And in Tetrio, we have some of that. The like even times of in the opener phase when you're trying to, let's say, cancel their cheese garbage or accept their clean garbage and things like that. We see a lot of players, at least like top players, who purposely accept the beginning. I mean, in Season 2, it's less common, I think, because you want to just build up your back-to-back as fast as possible, and only then can you really start to worry about the other kind of mechanics. But yeah, exactly. Like you can create your own playstyle, and people like every playstyle, not every playstyle, but most playstyles that are decently efficient are viable, to be honest. Like there's a lot of players, even in U rank when I play, it's that I see their name, then I've played against them, you know, like 10 plus times, and I see like I groan because I'm like, oh no, I know this is gonna be a slog, a cheese fest and things like that, which is fine, but like it adds variety to the game. I would rather have that than just over and over again of versing the same opener, the same playstyle, the same patterns and things like that. And you know, the depth to adapting to your opponent is so important, and especially in tournaments. You know, it's not a percentage-based game like TL is, where if you have a 51% win rate, you can just spam games. It's can you beat your opponent in this round? And there's so much depth to the game that I feel like there's that is not talked about. Which maybe I'll make some videos eventually about this, but. Oh, what's up? Built like a rat. Yeah, first time commentating on the TAWS, but this is very fun to see the different players we have in store for today. But yeah, queuing to the same person over and over again. If you're winning the games, it's like thanks for the free TR, but if you're losing, it's like, oh my god, I'm getting farmed right now. And yeah, the custom handling of Tetrio, to be honest, is like what makes the game so special to me. Like when I watch like Puyo Puyo or like Tetris Effect Connected or even classic Tetris, it's cool to see the decision making and the differences and things like that. But even the distinction between some players, like let's say Gohan, who's stacking. If they were to play, let's say, a capped speed game, we'd get absolutely obliterated by people like CZ. I mean, I'm saying this as, you know, he's still the #1 player on the TL, but like, it's because of his insane mechanical speed and all-spin vision that's able to capitalize on that. And that kind of playstyle is only possible in Tetrio, to be honest. And then you have players like CZ in Tetrio Season 1 was the best player by far, and he was triple rotating. You know, he's inherently playing at a lower PPS, but like that's not necessarily a bad thing. Playing slower is actually better sometimes. You know, there's like a tempo to the game that you have to adjust to, and sometimes people who are too fast can send clean garbage immediately to their opponent and get counter spiked very quickly. Okay, hold on one second. A little bit of a... We're about to get our next round started. But yeah. Should I watch stream while playing? That is like a big thing in the Tetris community, if I recall correctly. Like players in the Tetris World Cup were just in people's chats watching the commentary. And yeah, ads, of course. I mean, very happy to be on the commentary. This kind of stuff is very interesting. I think there's so much depth to the game that people don't really think about. People like I said this before, but you know, I mean, to be honest, it's probably in my view, in my eyes, like I played many different competitive games. You know, like I've never been like you know, the best at any, but top 1% in like multiple games. Like whether that's you know, like card games like Hearthstone or Osu, even like top 5K back in the day. Things like that. It's like at the highest level, there's so much depth to it, and it's like kind of the Dunning-Kruger effect for a lot of people, where they learn, let's say, DT cannon, and then they learn how to do like a T-spin setup, and they're like, oh, the game is just T-spins, and you're so like, I forget what I was gonna say, but basically it's like that's it. That's an entire game, and every level you go up, you realize you truly knew nothing before, and as you get better and better and better, you realize just like the true gap between a top 100 player and a top 10 player, and even a top 10 player and a top 2 player. You know, there's a lot of so much depth to the game that I feel like isn't really covered. I mean, I think it's something that at least to the public is not covered in like high level Tetris Discord servers. There's some resources. There's people talking about this kind of stuff. But for a community to grow in a competitive scene, I feel like you do need resources for just general people out there to learn. And that's like you know, Kez's guide or Ors's guides or Garbo's guides. I feel like those are so important to just like garner a community, especially season 2. Like, has anyone made an all spin guide? I I was thinking maybe I'd make an all spin guide because it's something people want to know how to do. But yeah, and we're getting straight into this game right here. This is the warm up, so we can see already off the bat 3 PBS open from Little Cocoon, but there's misdrops left and right. All right, looks like the tournament nerves are getting to them. Quick round, 1:48 p.m. from Curse. Yeah, you can learn the SRS kick table, but there's a lot of nuance to, like, I guess, spins that aren't necessarily SRS. It's different. It's like stacking patterns, right? It's like in 6-3, you have to stack the 3-side with your LOJ pieces or LZJ or whatever, and it's like, to a new player, like they don't understand why they're trying to do 6-3 in the first place. They don't understand like center well stacks are important to create T-spins because you need both sides of a well to create a T-spin and things like that. And like all spins, it's like, what is the point of all spins? Why are you doing all spins in the first place? And you know, that's why I think like T-spins at the like lower levels, like under, let's say, like S rank, and even like in S rank, or you know, I might be a little out of touch because skill inflation is real, and like S rank probably nowadays is probably harder than it was back in season 1. But yeah, like T-spins are not very important, to be honest, until you reach a certain point where the efficiency of the T-spin matters. Because if your stacking is just like very messy, it doesn't really like matter if you're sending high PM. If anything, you're sending them clean garbage to work with. The all spin guy type sure brings a few things, but nothing as big as I'm curious as to like how those guides got so many views, and I feel like it's something that is applicable to all games. But anyways, we're getting straight into the first round. We got first, I'm just going to say Curse and Little Khan. Maybe is that Cocoon or and right off the bat, we're seeing all the different lines of garbage being sent to Curse. And they're setting the fractal, but misdrops the T-piece. Oh no. He's using his garbage smartly though and canceling. And he's setting up the STSD at the top of his board. Oh my goodness. Oh, and Lil Cocoon, both players have to deal with all this garbage going down. Oh my goodness. This is just a slugfest. Garbage back and forth from both players. And oh my goodness. And Lil Cocoon in a great spot, actually, able to get to the bottom of the board. Curse, on the other hand, has to deal with all this cheese and very difficult situation. Look at, like, there's 4 different lines of single line cheese there. Or was it 3? Very, very, just call Little Cocoon KHGB. I'll just say KHGB. Okay, and Curse with the misdraw, trying to spin the, but it sets up a nice little T-spin. Able to get through some of the lines of cheese, but it looks like he's gonna pop out here unless he sends this enough garbage to cancel it. But second round goes to KHGB, and I guess they're both in chat as well, listening to this commentary. So maybe I shouldn't give like strategic pointers for both players because maybe they'll change up their playstyle because of me. But let's just say that both players are, you know, misdropping a little bit more than you would expect in a regular match. The tournament nerves are real. So much cheese garbage on little KHGB side. That's a mouthful. I'm just gonna say KH Kingdom Hearts side over here on the right side. I'll just say K. starting off already. A little KHEBs with a lot of eye dependencies already. Very, very tricky spot to deal with, but he finds a nice spin, but it doesn't matter. Not spin, skim. Second round goes to Curse. And we're seeing, once again, SPTC spin from KHEB side. And Curse is in a pretty dangerous spot. He needs to cycle to his TPs as quickly as possible. Able to send back-to-back pressure, getting sent clean from Lil Cocoon's side, but Lil Cocoon has to deal with all this cheese again. And able to build up a surge advantage already. On the other hand, Lil Cocoon is KHGB is having to break his back-to-back over and over again. And gets sent the surge, not enough to pop him out, but it's enough to pressure. But the miss drops on Curse's side is going to be the bane of his existence here, at least for round 5. It's just some very unconventional openers from Curse's side. I've never seen these openers, but to be honest, I'm just a meta Andy. I use SPTC spin. Very interesting PC setup. Whoa. I've never seen this kind of opener. I mean, it's not. We're in the mid game, but breaking a surge, setting some cheese. I mean, it's cheese, but 3 lines each. Oh, he had a skim, I think, but unfortunately, I don't think it mattered. Oh, these openers from Curse are very interesting. Very cool to see the different openers. Oh, and is forced to accept that cheese garbage, and that's gonna spell the death for him. 3.5 PPS from KHGB. Your name is too many syllables, man. Looks like both players are just trying to build up their surge as much as possible. As I say that, Curse actually has to break his surge and able to get a combo down stack, at least to get down a little bit. And 200 APM coming out. Oh my god. Very rare at this rank, to be honest. But when it does happen, it's one of those moments where you get a perfect well, just like that. Or a 4.5 PPS DPC opener in 2026. What are we? What timeline are we living in? And we're seeing again 4.5. I guess 4. Oh, and the miss drop. Okay. Immediately the slowdown for the PPS going from 4 all the way up to 2.7. Curse is giving a little bit of breathing room to finally manage his stack and sends the surge, and KHEB is to deal with all this cheese. Going into a very fast cheese race kind of playstyle right now, trying to make it his way through the cheese, and because he's making his way through the cheese, Curse on the other hand is also getting sent all this cheese garbage. The IP's covering that one, the 10th column garbage hole, a little unfortunate, but once again, like these eyepieces on top of the garbage holes, both players are in a very tough spot. Having to use the eyepiece in that one eye dependency might spell a death for little KHEB, but we'll have to see. Both players kind of in a neutral position now. If KHEB can get through to his open wells, it could be a very, very good spot to pressure. But he having to focus more on survivability than anything. He's has to skim. Trying to build up that back-to-back from both sides on a 3 and an 8 versus a 4, and able to use that to cancel out the spike that definitely would have killed him. Oh, and having to use that L-piece to skim and survive is not enough, and KHEB taking the round with the 3 PPS final round. That was an insane set, actually. It was 7-3, but to be honest, it didn't feel that way. It was back and forth. Although there was a couple 200 PPS SDPC DPC rounds. That was it was insane. And yeah, like just in the opener phase, but the opener is all you need in a lot of rounds. And season 2, I feel like there's many different openers that are viable. I do see like a lot of discourse about certain openers being overpowered, like SCPC spin and things like that. But even in these very meta openers, I've personally noticed like people using these openers as just pure stride openers, and like it is very, very oppressive at times, but at the same time, it's like TKI, right? People who can 4.5 to 5 PPS LST, their TKI openers are like not even like threatening top players, basically, because there's so much more depth to these openers than I guess like a lot of people give credit to. With things like, you know, extended SDPC though, there's a little bit of I think a meta there, but just like every other competitive game that has like balance patches and things like that, or Tetra, you know, only really hotfixed, I guess, really oppressive things, but there will always be like a meta strategy. But I think that already we can see in this tournament that there's so many different playstyles. We have opener 4.5 PPS SDPC DPC loops, and then we have 6-3 stacking in the beginning. We have PC no, I think they call it, where you don't take the PC in a PCO setup. We see like all the other different playstyles like coming out, and some players prefer Surge, some players prefer just a clean board, some players prefer cheesy gameplay, and it's cool to see all the different matchups we got here. Oh, what's up, ads? Let's see. Yeah, you just watched my Tetrio video? Yeah. Counting to the 4 is something that people talk about like it's so obvious, because if you just say, can you count the 4? The answer should be probably yes, unless you're, I guess, still in kindergarten. But you can probably still even count the 4 if you're a child. But like, in an actual Tetris, it's like, why are you even counting to 4? It's like, what's the point? And I think that like people don't really talk about that. It's you know, trying to keep your back-to-back, trying to be efficient, trying to cancel their garbage, trying to do all these things. And people try, like, if you just tell someone to count to 4 when they're cheesed up at the top of their board, you should really not really be counting to 4. You should be focusing on survival, on downstacking, on like just building a funnel to survive and things like that. And I feel like there's a lot of people that take these concepts as law, and it's you know, in any high level game, it's you have to be able to adapt immediately to the situation that you're put in. And yeah, counting to 4 has so many different patterns. It's literally just building a Tetris, but in a way to keep the garbage hole underneath it. And once again, we got Mao once again. Get ready to have your mind blown by these crazy spins. As I say that though, it looks like he's in a pretty rough spot. And Neptunite, 126 APM, 3.15 PPS, takes the warm-up round. But yeah, I was thinking about making some more Tetrio guides, but you know, I've been working on some other videos that like not Tetris related on other channels as well. So whenever I have time, I'll probably try to you know, get back to it. You know, I was thinking about just covering concepts. I don't know, like when I really want to talk about is actually how to accept and cancel garbage, like what that looks like. I feel there's so many guys that don't really go in depth. They just say, oh, accept or cancel, and like, but like, what, why, right? But enough of my yapping. We're getting into the first round already. Mao with this weird I don't even know how to explain it, but just the polymer setups and Neptunite on the other hand with the 5-4 stack. Oh my god, look at those boards. It doesn't look like this could be polymered out of, but first round going to Neptunite immediately. Both players not going for conventional openers, but Neptunite's able to build up his back-to-back support very quickly and send a short surge, and accepting a little bit of the tail end of that floor surge is all cheap garbage. But yeah, sending a lot of these short surges is very good for, especially when the opponent doesn't have any attacks to cancel it. They just get 4 lines of cheese, which is very, very strong in these situations. Mao, just like that, has to try to downstack, but very unfortunate spot. Now a little slow on the uptake here, but once again, like SDPC and things like that, you can see the 2 lines of garbage that gets sent to the opponent from the first the TSS is like something that people don't really talk about enough, where you have to be able to cancel that. And oh my god, a 23 spike coming out in the first big turn of the round. Neptunite having to deal with this weird stack right now with these misdrops, but turns it into a TST. Now also turns his stack into a TST. Oh my god! And the misdrops come out on Neptunite's side, and a little messy on that side. But and once again, we're seeing 2 players and very different playstyles, but. Again, Neptunite looking like he's focusing on building up his surge in this situation, prioritizing the big attacks that he can send all at once, which is the most the easiest way to win the game. And just like that, sending a huge spike to Mao's side, but he's able to get down somehow. Oh, and wow, that one piece. He had barely enough time to fill the rest of his board so he could get a nice combo down stack. Now on a 3 back-to-back, unfortunately not able to convert that into a 4 into a surge. We're getting into this the slower pace mid-game right here that we see a lot of times. Oh my gosh, these spins, I guess not anything too revolutionary, but I don't do any of these spins. Yeah, both players just trying to keep their stacks clean so they don't accidentally give their opponent an opportunity to instantly win the game. And Mao is able to shove his T-piece all the way to the left side, so he's able to place another piece and survive just a little bit longer. Is he able to turn that into a situation where he can really get down? He's finding the down stack, and Neptunite has to deal with all this cheese garbage on his side. And over, all this clean garbage on Mao's side could be the death of Neptunite, although he has this surge built up, and both players are able to end up in a board state where they have a lot of like clean garbage to work with. Although Neptunite, oh my god, okay, holy moly. This survival is crazy. That was a 2-minute round. How often do you see that in TL? Ooh, that did not count as a T-spin. On Mao's side, I think the kick did not happen. Oh, and the flat eyepiece, unfortunately not able to actually lead into a combo down stack. Oh my gosh, and Neptunite going for that the Z spin into the corner, but misdropping that and having to deal with all this. But Mao's side is looking crazy. Oh, what the? I'm watching some wizardry going on right now. He's able to find a down stack through it all. That's also able to build up a 9 surge. In a very tough spot though. The high SRS kicks are very, very tough to deal with. It's a rough spot to have to do that, but he manages to do that. Something I could never do in a very high pressure situation like this. Trying to get to the open well, he's finally able to open it up. That's in a great position. Mao, on the other hand, is dealing with all these skims and these misdrops, and but is able to make a nice donation and build up his back-to-back back to 3, and on his way to making 4. Oh yeah, that he was trying to go for that T-spin mini on the side, but would have left him in a very dangerous spot. And he's reading for this TST setup, and that's gonna be it for Mao. Neptunite being able to spike him out like that. Mao is clip farming. Yeah, he literally is clip farming. That's what. And yeah, we love to see the different playstyles. Now able to use his surge to play defensively and survive in that situation. And yeah, these this aura farming and the flashy plays are no match for Neptunite's pressure when he's at the top of the board, when Mao's at the top of the board. Like the aura farming from those the spins are getting punished by the garbage spawning all the way in the first column of the stack, and this entire time he still has not gotten to a single line of garbage that was sent by Neptunite until right now. And Neptunite carrying home this 1-2 surge and sends it all at once. Can Mao cancel it? No, not at all. And match point for Neptunite. One more round of this and it's gonna be over. Can Mao turn the tides and aura farm and farm rounds against Neptunite? Ooh, having to break on a 3, we'd hate to see that, but when your board is messy like that, you know, it's very, very difficult to play in a way that you can preserve your back-to-back. Both players kind of in this mid-game situation. Mao is getting sent all this clean garbage. Neptune, on the other hand, has to deal with his cheese, but his all-spin vision is enough to help him get through this while keeping all of his back-to-back, which is very, very impressive. Oh, not able to get that the Z-spin triple there. And this 1-8 stack, he's able to finesse his way through it, and he's probably going to break right here. 1, 2, 3, and get the down stack. And Mao's at the top of his board. Can he get out of this situation? He has to use the JPs vertically. And Neptunite's in a great board situation, although it can be very dangerous if he's not able to get the spike, and gets a nice down stack combo. And oh my god, look at that one huge line of clean garbage from that combo down stack Tetris. Is enough to spike him out. And it's 7-2 in Neptunite's favor. Where's the does anyone have the link to the bracket? I could probably find it, but Trying to see what round we're on now, because that was a top 8 round for the losers bracket. Oh, yeah, there's a command. And I believe this should be the let's see. A top 8 round here as well in the losers bracket again. I forgot to bet against yourself again. Yeah, I feel like that's there's some competitive integrity here where you could farm your your Twitch points for the TAWS Twitch channel, or unless we got like a real money sports gambling on this. Maybe that's what we need in the esports space. If people could gamble on their play, no, we shouldn't have that. It's yeah, no. Yeah. Next round is starting pretty soon. This round, both competitors here have a pretty similar 40 line time, so the speed play is pretty similar, but we'll see in a second, just in the warm-up, what that says about them in their actual 1v1 matchup. But yeah, we're already in the losers quarterfinals right now, so we only have a couple more games until we get to the grand finals. Top 8 already. So we're gonna have to see which of these competitors are gonna take the trophy. I don't know if there's a trophy, but we should have some trophies at least. Maybe a T-shaped trophy or something like that. Maybe an icon at least, but and yeah, we're about to head into our warm-up here, and yeah, once again, the PPS pretty similar between both players, but there is a decent APM disparity here, and even in the in top 8, we're able to see like the 500 TR gap is present here, and we'll see how much that actually takes in play in an actual tournament match. Immediately, Sage-chan is going for a much faster stride playstyle in the warm-up, at least. Trying to either get his fingers warmed up or just trying to overwhelm his opponent with all this speed. And as you can see, like, his board is completely filled with cheese garbage, but it doesn't matter because of the constant pressure. And because of the constant pressure on and the garbage being sent to his opponent. And once again, we have both players here. I don't think their names are the same as the ones in the Twitch chat, but if you want me to call you a specific thing, I could say built like a rat, I believe is Usage-chan, if you're, I think that's what they said, as well as Anubis. I'll just say Anubis. But yeah, the warm-up's complete, and we're going to head straight into the game in a couple of seconds. Luna would be fine. Wait. So I could say Luna for, I guess, both Usagi-chan and Built Like a Rat. Luna, okay. So Anubis and Luna, we got coming up to the plate, and we're getting straight into the round. All right, we saw the burst, the striding from Usagi-chan in the warm up, and both players going for a PC. Although Anubis is one line short, and is not able to go for a second all clear, was able to play at a 3.2 PPS, both players at 130 APM, and it's just a battle of speed in this case. Clean garbage after clean garbage, just opener into clean garbage. Very high intensity, back and forth game we got here. Once again, another PC coming out into TKI, or at least the LSD. Pretty unfortunate stack from Usagi, from Luna. And going in straight into the TSC, no hesitation, and that's enough to top out Anubis. I do agree, speed offensive battles are great. I do love to see the variety between, defensive players like, CZ and things like that, but, there's the high stakes pressure of this extended STPC spin versus the constant PCs and the misdrops coming out from Anubis, and that's going to be the round. So fast. These rounds are 13 seconds. And this is the kind of Tetrio gameplay that is decided in a split second. A single bad stacking decision or a single misdrop is enough to just completely negate all of the previous speed that an APM. Anubis with a nice donation. Or floating T-spin, but Luna over here has to deal with this weird floating, missing triple eye piece on the right side. And the misdrops are coming out. That's the 3 PPS, the upsides and downsides of this monumental pressure versus the misdrops, It's very hard to find clean solutions when you're going that fast. So sometimes you're stuck, and as I say clean solution, we see Anubis finds probably the least clean solution in that specific scenario. The only placement that covers the complete garbage field without a skim possible. For that DP cannon, that's a very unfortunate round. And using the AFK opener at this point, building looks like a what is going on Luna's side? This oh my goodness. What is going on? Look at how much cheese is on his board, or their board, and Anubis not able to capitalize on it, skimming back and back to back to back, and is able to send just enough garbage to top out Luna, but yeah, see, this is the high PPS rounds we see that the plethora of misdrops we see can you can see some of the highest intensity gameplay like this, that huge 169 spike, 3.8 PPS. In the next round you can see a 4 APM round just with the wrong placements. And we got a 4 wide going from Usagi-chan, or Luna, and we're gonna see, can we see? Oh, and the right side's overstacked though, not able to get a nice combo into Tetris, but able to clear the garbage. Anubis is trying to send as much pressure as possible, and now in a point where they're trying to build up their surge. Clean downstacking from Anubis' side, and Usagi-chan on the other hand has to deal with these misdrops and these holes, and playing some cheese race, and while getting sent so many lines. And this is more of a classic U-rank meta, I would say, opener phase of PC Nova versus a extended STPC opener here. And just like that, we got a nice LST coming out from Usagi-chan, and Anubis has to deal with the garbage, like all this clean garbage. And usually you love to see clean garbage when it's sent, but when it's sent back to back like that, that's how you die, or I guess get topped out. Die in Minecraft, as we say in 2026, I guess. But DT cannon coming out from Luna, and the double PC, second PC coming out from Anubis. Both players approaching the mid game at this point, trying to build their surge. We got 6 on Luna's side, but also a clean board from Anubis. It's like having to break their surge to try to survive, but that one eyepiece misdrop was devastating. Not able to cancel the 4 lines coming in, making it much harder to get down. PC versus this nice garbage well being sent to Anubis and 217 APM. That's the 1 in 10 to get that perfect well from STPC spin. Once again, both players going for a STPC kind of, I think Anubis going for the regular STPC in that case, billing the 4 back-to-back, and Luna having to break their surge at 3 again, once again. It's very, very devastating to see, but able to build their surge and turn the round right back in their favor, and it's 6-6 to the tiebreaker. Oh my gosh. This is a very high APM back and forth game we got here. Anyone's game, both going for the most optimal openers in this high pressure round, and Usagi-chan spinning their piece, and oh no, has to deal with this very, very uncomfortable spot at the top of their board, but finds a nice combo down stack, and all the way back down, and we're backing into a neutral position into the mid game. Still anyone's game though. Misdrop coming out from Usagi-chan, same from Anubis. Both players are sending so much cheese garbage. These skims are just back and forth, skim. And as I say that, a huge spike coming out from Anubis and trying to cycle to the eyepiece. Usagi-chan very, very, very scared to get spiked out and is bursting 3.1 PPS. Anubis on the other hand, 2.95 PPS. Both players have calmed down into a spot where they're trying to keep their stacks clean, but Anubis has this board state that could be a little risky. Usagi-chan on the other hand has a very clean board state, overstacked left side, and able to funnel down if anything goes wrong. But once again, back and forth. This kind of high DPS, high intensity game is like could be literally anyone's game at any second. And we see the 13 surge already built up from Usagi-chan's side, and the misdrop from Anubis could be the end to him or to them, and that's gonna be it. 3.1 PPS a minute 30 in is insane, and that's gonna be what it takes to win 7-6. What a close match we had. Jeez. That was that was a crazy lock-in for that last round. What a match. It's probably the best match we've seen today. 7-6 is the scoreline, yes. 7-6 specifically. Some post-game not analysis, but thoughts from both players. One player saying they were locked in, the other saying they weren't. But to me, it seemed like both players locked in when it mattered, and Luna was able to barely squeak out that win. Even in that last round, they were like 2 lines away from losing. One player making Johns for not eating enough food. Anyways, off to the next round. And now we're officially in the top 6. I think the next match will be the losers quarterfinals coming right up. But yeah, the seeding also is interesting. out of all the competitors, I mean, we do see that the top 6 of this tournament are the top 6 seeds, which is, I guess, a reflection on good seeding by the tournament organizers. So shout out to them. But this next match will be against the 5th and 6th seed. So on paper, it should be a close, very close, close in the closest match that we could see here. Both players being within like around 50 or 60 TR of each other. But once again, there is a pretty big PPS disparity between the two players. I think we'll be able to see in a second once the player cards showed up. But there's a 0.6 PPS disparity, 0.53 PPS disparity, which is very massive in such a close TR gap. Looks like this game will skip the warm-up, so we're going to get straight into the first round. So as soon as the game starts, we have to be ready for full-on action. And once again, to reiterate, we are seeing a PPS disparity, a speed disparity between both players. We're going to see it in action here. I mean, in the opener phase, we can see both players are still playing around 3.2 PPS. And they only have their surge. Neptune on a 6 surge, they're prioritizing the all spins over these the APM and is sending their surge right away. In a bit of a rough spot, but has all this clean garbage on Neptune's side. And using the forecasting of the upright L piece and able to clear that cheese and send some cheese back to Neptune in a very bad spot. Looking at this third column right here, has to use find a down stack and able to use the T-spin he barely set up to cancel out the garbage. And we're gonna have to see is he able to get through all this and using the J piece in a weird horizontal way, and that's gonna be it from him. Curse waiting the round with a 10 surge still in his back pocket. We got both players trying to build up their surge as fast as possible. We got Curse getting to the 4 first. We got some nice S&D spins from Neptune's side to keep a clean stack and try to get to the 4 surge, but is topped out unfortunately because of the little hesitation. This bag looks like it's gonna be no, actually I was gonna say this kind of bag is usually immedientely STPC, but we see here both players on a pretty rough board. Neptune dealing with a 9-0, and Curse dealing with all this cheese garbage from the misdrops, and Neptune looking at his board, if he's not able to top him out, their opponent out with all this garbage, has to deal with all this cheese right away, and Curse on the other hand, able to spend some time to build up their back-to-back while they get through the garbage. But as I say that, has to break at 3 and is forced to cancel and break it to survive the spike. Using the what's it called, the parapet or whatever, to take the single on that T-spin to keep the count to 4 on Curse's side, and both players once again cheesed up, and we can see the PPS disparity starting to emerge in the mid game, already at a 0.4 PPS disparity and a huge down spike from Neptune, but not able to make too much out of it. In a 9-0 stack again, and this drops, covers the well, needs to spam pieces to try to clear it, but is not able to in time. And it's 3-0 on Curse's side. PC coming out from net tonight. PC able to send some lines, but allows Curse to build the back-to-back advantage quicker, and uses the L piece in a weird way to make this overhang for this Trinity, or not Trinity, the Imperial Cross, and has me to use the I piece vertically on top of the garbage hole, and Neptunite in a very rough spot, doesn't have the correct piece, one more piece and he could have cycled through to clear that downstack combo. 4-0, not looking too good for Neptunite, and as we said before, Curse is the one with the lower PPS, at least in theory. But once again, like, you know, PPS is not the end-all be-all of who wins or not. Neptunite accepting that garbage and using it to try to send a big spike after getting through and opening the garbage well, and is able to send a nice spike. But on Curse's side, we see there's a nice 10 surge built up, and is there a downstack solution here? Looking for that for a little bit and not able to find one. I don't think there was, but maybe Vince probably would have gotten out of that somehow. Like, reel across coming out from Curse, and nice garbage coming Neptune's way directly in the wall that they already set up, and able to send immediately the surge. But Curse is actually trying to hold on to their back-to-back for as long as possible and trying to build an advantage here. Having to break because the board's getting a little messy at the bottom, having to play a little defensively now, trying to get through to their clean garbage. Accepting all that clean garbage, and if they're able to capitalize on this, this could be a huge moment. Both players in a very clean position. As I say that, there's a misdrop from the T-spin, and it's not actually, the overhang is not actually created. 5-1, first round to Neptunite. This could be the shift and momentum that we need. A couple awkward spins from Neptunite's side. Neptunite at the top of their board, and Curse needs to capitalize on this, but continues to build up their back-to-back instead, and may have given the opportunity to survive, but unfortunately is not able to cycle to their 4-piece long Tetramino in time in Tetrio. And this is match point. Neptunite hesitating a little bit, trying to hold on to their surge instead of just breaking immediately, trying to read for this the back-to-back, and because of that has to deal with all this very messy board state that they're in. Not getting the right pieces and barely surviving. Look at the downstack. I mean, barely just enough time, like 2 milliseconds later when they're gonna die. Able to survive one more attack. Is that enough though? Is able to survive, and Curse on the other hand is dealing with a nice 7-2 stack here. Able to build up their back-to-back, play a little slower to keep this clean board, and just like that, Neptunite pops out, and Curse takes the game. Not able to do it for their planet, as we're seeing in the chat. (7-1) between these two players. The largest disparity between the game. Although, as we saw, you know, there was a lot of situations in that game where both players were at a standstill, and to be honest, I think something that we could see from both players is that they really love to focus on their surge and use it as a huge attack, which can be their downfall at the same time. When they're accepting cheese to hold on to their like 8th surge, they're putting themselves in a very disadvantaged position where even if they send the surge, they are gonna get counter spiked pretty hard and top out, which can also be a strategy as well. To if your surge is high enough, you can take that risk. And off we are to the second losers quarterfinals. Another top 6 match here. This time between the 2nd and the 4th seed. Both of these players with a pretty high PPS, especially for relative to the to U rank, 2.85 and 2.71. We're able to see 120 APM coming from Lactus Enjoyer and 105 from Osage-chan. So even with the higher PPS, we're seeing a lower APM, which could be a variety of things. You know, speed is not always you know, determining your APM. So we can see either it's a like very efficient player, or very defensive slash not defensive, but more of an accepting playstyle of accepting garbage, things like that, or even things like nice good all spins to keep pressure and send garbage even with skims and like singles and doubles and triples. Like these are all factors that determine your APM, and we'll see. High PPS games sometimes focus less on that kind of playstyle and more on just sending as many Tetris and T-spins as possible. So we'll have to see. And going straight into this first game, we're gonna see no warm up here, so straight into the first round. Good luck to both players. Immediately, TKI versus the stick openers, and we can see immediately that Usagi-chan's getting sent 2 lines of cheese, which is the matchup between TKI and these TSS openers, where if you don't wait to cancel, you actually get sent 2 lines of garbage. Especially with Season 2 rule sets, where you actually cancel double the amount of garbage in the very start of the round. So trying to capitalize on that kind of playstyle, and Osage-chan going for this very I don't even know that felt like it shouldn't have worked because of the difference. It wasn't a STFD or anything like that. But anyways, we have Lactus Enjoyer with all this cheese, but it's on the left side of the stack. So even with the overstacked right side, it's not a big problem. And misdrop after misdrop from Osage-chan, it's unfortunate, but we were able to see the amount of cheese on Lactus Enjoyer's board, and this is kind of the APM difference as well. Like sometimes the lower APM is actually not a bad thing. You know, being able to send cheese and putting your opponent in a worse spot because of the amount of cheese is also very important. So people like you shouldn't always count on APM to determine who's the better player, because all the little things matter. Like Lactus Enjoyer's board, look at the cheese on the 3rd column, the 10th column, and the 6th column. Having to deal with it, it's taken a while to get to open his well. And just like that, Osage-chan has a huge well on the right side, and is going for these donations on top of the well with the 3 back-to-back, and unfortunately misdrops. Can they find a down stack? Barely lives with 1 line remaining on the top. Finds a nice 10 spike, but on the other hand, Lactus Enjoyer with a huge well as well, but not able to find a clean solution. And after one more attack is topped out. 1-1 from both players. Very, very high intensity match. Lactose Enjoyer on a 5 surge, breaks it immediately and sends 2 lines of cheese to their opponent. Osage-chan with this 7-2 stack, trying to keep their back-to-back going. Lactose Enjoyer with a 5-6 surge. They're probably gonna have to break very soon, or they're gonna top out just like that. And this is the greed of back-to-back surging. Like, depending on how clean the solutions are, sometimes the best option is not to hold on to back-to-back. We got TST from Osage-chan building to the 4 surge, misdropping the J piece once again, but able to find nice solutions with the J spin triple. I have a very hard time differentiating the pieces because I don't usually say them out loud, but Lactose Enjoyer. I should stop saying their names because they're misdropping as soon as I say it. But Osage-chan with this 1-8 stack, never a stack you like to see, and has to immediately cancel their back-to-back. And looking at Lactose Enjoyer's board, once again we said usually a higher APM player, but looking at the amount of cheese on this board, it doesn't. You can't keep up the APM when you have to deal with singles and doubles and can't spam APM span on a center wall stack. A bit of a messy board for Lactose Enjoyer, trying to make their way through, but continues to get pressured, able to use their eyepiece to cancel, barely able to survive, and Osage-chan setting with one more T-spin and getting set back another spike. Both players now back to a pretty neutral mid-game. This 9-0 stack, once again, very, very tough to deal with on Lactose Enjoyers, where having to get to the bottom with all of this cheese, and Osage-chan with these weird spins. It goes Imperial Cross over their second columns as well, which is not the cleanest solution, and is the reason they top out. Getting a little too greedy, or not greedy, but impulsive with their vision. Sometimes the question is not if you can, but if you should. And should we look at this round, this huge 140 APM start of the round, 10 seconds, 3.2 TPS coming out from Osage-chan, and seeing this, the misdrops and very, very struggling stack. It's gonna tie up the round. DT cannon coming out from Osage-chan versus, I believe, a attempt at like MS2 or something, but 9-0 from Osage-chan. Is that enough? Just Tetris after Tetris. Oh, nice all spin. Breaking the surge, not able to top out their opponent, but Lactose Enjoyer in a pretty rough spot, especially with that misdrop right here. Osage-chan trying to find the down stack, but misdrops both their upcoming pieces and topping out. Very close game we have on our hands. 4-3. Immediately TKI versus extended STPC spin, or a attempt at extended STPC spin. Lactose Enjoyer forced to break their surge to keep a clean stack, but it doesn't matter because Osage-chan is struggling to open up their well, being forced to make these skins, and at the same time, Lactose Enjoyer not able to capitalize that, dealing with all the cheese as well, and building up stacking at the top of their board, which trying to keep their back-to-back alive, but unfortunately popping out because of it. And here we have back again extended STPC spin, but more like extended misdrops in the opener. And we have some sort of 180 T-spin coming up. Yup. Oh man, I feel like everyone who sees that has to go for it, no matter how optimal it is or not. The Lactus enjoys for a lot of these J and L dependencies, and is able to cycle through their pieces to find the answer. But once again, TSP coming from a Soggatron, huge spike coming out. It might be enough to win the round just off of that. And having to use that eyepiece vertically on Lactus Enjoyer's board is very frustrating must be very frustrating. But when you're getting pressured like that, you're forced to make these suboptimal decisions just to try to live one more extra attack. And another misdraw from Lactus Enjoyer on the left side, not able to open up the well. Gonna be a match point for Usagi-chan now, 6-4. We're gonna have to see if they can keep up the pressure. Seems like the Torment nerves might be getting to Lactus Enjoyer. These misdrops have been pretty devastating. And these eye dependencies on the left side for Lactus Enjoyer is very hard to deal with. It's not just Lactus Enjoyer, though. Both players are dealing with their own misdrops. A huge down stack combo from Usagi-chan. Did not expect that, to be honest. Nice spins, Z and S spins from Usagi-chan, but the misdrops are too much. PC No versus, or not, just a 5-4 stack versus, if I recall correctly, the MS2 from Lactus Enjoyer. Oh no, the Usagi-chan in a pretty rough situation here. But is able to find at least a relatively clean down stack. With no attack set up right now, though, so getting set this cheese garbage is very devastating. Again, with the 1-8 stack, has to deal with this without a very good way to get down, and 1-8 stack into a 9-0 stack. But Lactus Enjoyer is actually on the back foot at this point, dealing with all this all this cheese and another 9-0 stack. Both players have not able to capitalize too much on their openers. And now we're at a tiebreaker. It's anyone's game. This, once again, another high-intensity game, back and forth. We got 4 PPS from both players right now in their opener in the first 5 seconds. A misdraw from Usagi-chan, though. Can Lactus Enjoyer capitalize? Send one more Tetris, and that's going to be it. 3.4 PPS. What a back and forth game that was. And another 7-6 game. And nothing else. Just a 7-6 game. And with that, we're going into the semifinals on winner's side. Which is going to be against the 1st and 3rd seed here. Starting to pick up the pace. With the highest competition that we have yet to see all tournament, the highest seeds versus each other. And yeah, seems like we had some predictions going on as well, and we have both players in the lobby now, going to get ready. Once again, we're gonna see the stats for both players, but this match, it seems like if the stats aren't lying, there is a huge disparity between their PPS. A almost full PPS disparity. But in the top 6, or I guess top 4 at this point, in the semifinals, we're gonna have to see how this plays out. Yeah, once again, straight into the 1st to 7. And we're gonna see PC coming out and a nice eye spin. Oh, not 180 spinning from Shinnok's side. Shinnok. Correct me if pronunciation's wrong, but with a nice down stack combo, and immediately there's a KHGB being sent all the way to the top and not able to down stack. Looks like they're innovating openers in the middle of the set on the team side. More just a misdrop, but yeah, this lack of warm-up seems to might be affecting the player. Shinnok taking their time because they have so much free real estate here in terms of not being pressured, able to send garbage attack after attack, and KHEB is unfortunately topped out again. PC coming out from KHEB, another PC into DPC in 2026 into SDPC. 4.1 PPS. Shinnok's blocking their garbage. Are they able to open their well? Not able to cleanly get out, but is able to find some nice spins to get at least to the eyepiece. Seems like they're trying to wait for this time the attack to cancel, but there's no attacks coming in from Will Cahoon's side. But as I say that, there's more garbage flying in, and this 2x2 hole on Shinnok's side is very, very hard to deal with without the correct pieces, and slowing down a lot because of this weird, very awkward stack. And once again, we got Waste TKI on KHEB side, sending some garbage, a lot of garbage, enough to top out Shinnok. And this is what happens. It seems like Shinnok was going for surge farming, but when it sends almost 0 to no garbage, especially in the beginning on the first couple spins, it's very, very, very easy to get sent cheese garbage, and you put in a very a downhill position. Once again, this awkward stack from Shinnok unfortunately has to but finds a nice down stack. Able to live for just a little bit longer to try to get to this cheese. KHEB on the other hand sets up a TST in the middle of the on the second column. Shinnok trying to cycle to his eyepiece, but no eyepiece comes. 3-2. Another close game we got on our hands. Misdrop from the extended SDPC. Not extended, SDPC spin. Regular SDPC spin. These all spins coming out. More cheese and more cheese coming out from Shinnok onto KHEB side. Just like that, the score is tied back to 3-3. DT Cannon coming out from KGB, but unfortunately doesn't rotate their pieces all the way, and has to deal with this messy setup, trying to go for another TST, but actually a TSD, because all the lines weren't filled, but able to at least down stack a little bit, sending a lot of cheese garbage to their opponent, but their opponent, Shinnok, is able to cancel it, break in their surge. And Shinnok with that very unfortunate stack, the opposite of a funnel. None of their stack was filled in, so wasn't able to find any downstack solutions. Going for the PC setup into DPC once again. It seems to be their specialty, and win condition from KHEB side. Unfortunately misdropping and looking for a nice count to 4. And they find the surge and they break it immediately, which honestly is very smart because their board was getting a little messy. And able to send enough, and Shinnok with the very awkward stack once again, Looked like a misdraw. STPC's been coming out from KTB, and Chop being forced to break their surge immediately, and 180 APM, 3.5 PPS coming from KGB. Looks like in some rounds they're able to just lock in and up out their opponent without much retaliation. Nice spins coming in from Chinook, although the 1-8 stack is very awkward once again, having to break their surge. A very messy board for KGB though, and Chinook's able to take the round. And we got a forward coming out from KGB. Both sides of his forward though have an eye dependency, and not able to open up as well to get the potential of the bomb, but even still is able to spend a lot of pressure to Chinook's side. Ooh, and KGB using the eyepiece to fix the dependency, and that is a very awkward situation because they might be in a very awkward spot if they get spiked out, but it looks like that they're doing okay. Although, how okay are they with all this garbage being sent their way finally, and the break comes and tops out, and Chinook takes their 5th round, clawing their way back almost to a tiebreaker. And a very interesting opener from KGB. Looks like just a lot of misdrops. After watching now, I can't tell anymore if like these openers are intentional or not, but yeah, the misdrops are gonna spell the death of him immediately. And just like that, we are at match tiebreaker 6-6, and we're gonna see, is this the round? Oh, and the immediate misdrop from KGB. And can they get out of this situation? They're slowing down, but they really need to speed back up, and the 4-wide karma might have been it might have been the curse from the 4-wide gods in Tetrio. And the comeback from from Chinook, able to take the round. And this is just the winner's side though. This could be another matchup again in grand finals. We'll have to see though. Chinook being the first one in winners finals right now. And at this point, we have our top 3 players. We have Chinook, and we have our top 4 players still, actually. We still have our top 4 players here. And yeah, at this point, we're seeing a lot of high PPS gameplay going on. These 4.5 PPS openers are so much to handle for their opponents. Even one misdrop can be immediately the reason you lose a round. If you make, like in that last round, the tiebreaker round, KGB, that small misdrop in the beginning just spelled the end. And as the first seed being sent to the losers bracket, we're gonna have to see if they can make their way back. And the next round is starting, this time with a warm-up, so we get to see how these two players fight against each other. The 4-wide come out from Curse's side with a misdrop at the very top, but we'll see if that even matters if they get a nice combo down stack. Unfortunately, I can find any eyepiece coming out in the next like 5 pieces. But yeah, a lot of, like with 4-wides, a lot of cheese garbage being sent to their opponent, and in turn, their opponent will be sent cheese right back. And we're about to get into our loser semifinals. This is the match for third place. So this is our bronze medalist, I guess, in this in this tournament. And immediately we were seeing a interesting donation setup from Curse's side. I'm not too familiar with that opener, but we have, I think we had MS2 on Lactus Enjoyer's side. A little bit of a slower paced game compared to other games we saw where there was 4 PPS openers. This time both players were playing about 2.5 PPS, I think. With 80 APM, although I say that, but there's a huge surge building on Curse's side. 14 already, 15. And Lactus Enjoyers barely just trying to hold on right now. Just trying to make their way through the through all this garbage, and they need a response to this huge spike. And can they find a down stack? Unfortunately not. With those kind of huge spikes, you need to build up your own spike to cancel it, but the problem is, like, they could send it at any time, so you can't really wait for your opponent. You just have to always be ready, put yourself in a very, very key situation. That is very, very difficult for a lot of players, including myself. LST coming out from Lactus Enjoyer, sending a nice spike as well, some cheese on Curse's side, and this awkward pucks that they have to use, and a misdrop, and their next garbage line's all the way on the 10th column, but there's a full eyepiece on top of it, and that's going to be enough to take the round. Nice TST coming out from Lactus Enjoyer, and Curse got a very ambitious spin that they're trying to figure out. But the hesitation is too much. Not able to clear their lines or find like a very clean solution out of that. LFP coming out from both sides, both of them going for the same variation. We got the exact same pieces coming out from both players. Finally, a little bit of a variation now with an Imperial Cross on Curse's side. Lactus Enjoyer, though, with a 6 surge already built up. On the other hand, Curse barely gets a 4 surge and has to break immediately. Lactus Enjoyer is holding onto their surge, but gets sent 3 lines of cheese and has to deal with that, and is able to build up another back-to-back already on 6 and sends it right away. And Curse is now on the back foot here, where they have to deal with all these lines of cheese and looking for a combo. Both players are very cheesed up right now, although very high APM start of the game. Expected to slow down after a second, but able to find enough of a spike to win the round immediately. Looks like an LST from both players, although mirroring each other, one on each side. With nice wall spins coming out from Lactus Enjoyer. Curse at the very top of their board, breaking their surge, but after accepting all of the garbage. Lactus Enjoyer already what seems to be a misdrop, but able to open up their well very cleanly, making an eye defense on the left side, however. Curse, on the other hand, seems to also be misdropping right now. They had a spin, but not sure if that would have been optimal. Misdrop's coming out from Lactus Enjoyer. Curse also at the top of their board. Can they turn this into a big spike? or at least into a surge. Lactose Enjoyer trying their best to open up the garbage rolls in a very efficient way, trying to keep their back-to-back. And here they have a count to 4, count to 5, but the 1-8 stack is very, very difficult to maneuver. And Curse, on the other hand, is very, very greedy here. Their stack is getting very messy, but they're willing to put up with it and look for these very, very nice spins to break and send a 20 surge and win the round off of that. Off to a nice, simple opener here from both players, but Lactose Enjoyer dealing with all this, the messy stack. And that's all it takes to take a round. Just one or two bad lines of cheese, and that's it. Curse seems to be going for this Imperial Cross every round. Both players slowing down a little bit. It seems like the fatigue is starting to hit. With these long back and forth games, especially these ones that last for a longer amount of time, it's not only a game of like pure skill, but of endurance. Especially after playing back-to-back matches, they're given almost no time to rest their hands or their brains. Lactose Enjoyer with all the cheese at the top of the board once again, trying to find some clean solutions, but not able to do so. Both players with a 2 to 2.5 DPS opener, which slower than usual. Oh, Lactose Enjoyer having to accept all that cheese, and once again the huge 10th column eyepiece to get to that next garbage well. It's gonna be a struggle. And dealing with the cheese in the left 4 columns of their board, they have to find a good cheese race stack out of this. Able to do so. Can they keep it up and get out completely? Yes, they can. Nice down stack from Lactose Enjoyer's side, starting to build up their back-to-back, and they're at 4, and Curse being forced to break at the very top of their board. And wow, oh, unfortunate for them. The greed, not the greed, but the focus on building Surge here is once again sometimes the way to win the round, but it's the risk versus reward aspect. And nice STSD from Lactose Enjoyer. Curse, on the other hand, has to get those one line of cheese to get to their garbage holes. Oh, and they had the down stack, but they misdropped. They had it's called the Z piece into the T into the I down stack, and they would have survived, but very, very unfortunate. Nice spins from Lactose Enjoyer. Downstack, also in combos. Curse is on the back foot here with all this cheese garbage, but finding a nice spike to stabilize. Lactose, on the other hand, is dealing with these misdrops, but the all-spin vision is enough to at least get into a decently clean board state. Into a nice slower paced mid game we have here. Both players trying to keep their stack as clean as possible, but the breaks come out from Curse and also from Lactose Enjoyer. It seems like that was unintentional though. And that's gonna be it. Lactose Enjoyer takes the round, and they're moving on to the losers finals to fight against KHEB for a chance to win the entire thing back in the grand finals. What a set. Once again, the TR disparity, the PPS disparity, and all of that only matter as much as how well you play in this one specific match. Again, the tournaments are do or die. You have one shot to make it, to win. It doesn't matter if on average you play well, if you misdrop in the round that matters. And we're gonna have our next match coming up very, very soon. Winner, losers finals with the the second seed and the fifth seed, or second seed and the first seed, sorry, with KGB and Lactose Enjoyer. So the top 3 seeds make it to the top 3. Once again, good seeding. And we can look at their stats again. These players seem to be pretty evenly matched in terms of speed and in terms of TR as well. APM difference is a little bit there, but like as mentioned before, the stats don't really tell the entire story. With different playstyles, with the opener 4.5 PPS SDPC DPC loops, or these all spin striding. Different playstyles can still two people with very, very distinct playstyles can have the same APM and PPS and play in completely different ways. And I think in this game we'll be able to see that. Get your predictions in. And we're starting off with a warm-up for both players. We got a 4-wide again. A 4.5 PPS 4-wide might be enough to send enough cheese garbage. Oh man. Lactose Enjoyer. Good back-to-back holdings. KGB falling to their misdrops in the warm-up, and we'll have to see if this pattern continues in the actual game, but we'll never know until we see it. All right, and this is once again losers finals. And off to start the first round between the second and first seed. KGB going for the 4.5 PBS LFT opener, trying to open up their well after their misdrop, and this very out of place eyepiece in the middle of the stack is gonna be an immediate loss of a round. And the misdrops might be the make or break on KGB's side. Seems like when they're at their best, they're able to run away with rounds without even their opponent having an answer to it. But with high PPS comes the higher probability of misdrops. Both players in a pretty neutral state in the mid game here. But KGB with a little bit of a better spot. I say that, but cheese garbage starts to appear on their board, and they have to open up their clean garbage. But once again, both players are at the very bottom of their board. Not much pressure coming on both sides. They're both stacking up. They're both not being sent garbage, but is able to actually try to capitalize on this kind of overstacking, which is very important for these the big spikes that they want to make. It seems like this game is less of a surge fest and more of a combo downstack spike game right now. Unfortunate misdraw from KGB. You need to use 3 eyepieces to clear that count to 4 right there. The Lactus Enjoyer, on the other hand, dealing with all this, like the cheese on the right side of their board, so they have to clear on the left and then all the way to the right again. Oh my god, look at all the cheese on the right side for KGB. Honestly, probably the best situation to get set all this cheese on one side of the board. But it still might be too much cheese for them to get out of, but once again, look at that. They're able to get out of it pretty cleanly because of how the cheese was set up. And both players on a 3 back-to-back. Oh, and Lactus Enjoyer dies trying to stack and build that T-spin. Here we got the LC from both sides. A nice garbage coming onto Lactus Enjoyer's board on the 3rd column, and is able to just continue this LST over and over again. Oh, KHB trying to go for not wanting to skim that because it would cover that entire that one hole, and they would have to clear 10 lines of their stack to try to downstack more, but it didn't matter because they got topped out if they didn't do it, so they're just in checkmate. And the misdrops from KGB are enough for Lactus Enjoyer to spam APM, 150 APM to take the round. 3-1, the 2-point lead already. Looking a little... Oh, setting up the TST. Oh no, not able to get the T piece rotated through because of how the shape was set up. You can't spin that piece any which way to try to get it over the block that's sticking out. Both players going for the same LST, but KP with the cleaner solution with the O-piece tuck is able to do it without wasting T. On the other hand, Lactus Enjoyer has to waste T, but Little Cocoon misdrops and has to find their way down. Misdrops again. But Lactus Enjoyer is also in a very tough spot, so you can't even capitalize on these misdrops. Both players are in a very awkward position. Can they make it down in time before one or the other pops them out? And the answer is no. Once again, keeping this 2-point lead. Both players again using the same opener, although actually it's slightly different. One STPC spin and then one regular STPC. Breaking the surge right away, but not actually sending any of that cheese to the KGB side because it was used to cancel basically. And Lactus Enjoyer were dealing with a lot of these garbage holes like on the left and the right, and continue to downstack over and over again. Not able to build that surge, and that might be the reason they're not able to find a downstack and cancel enough garbage coming in. Breaking on 3 again. I repeat this over and over again, but it truly is such a important concept. Those 4 lines of canceling whatever cheese is in is a huge deal in this level. No eyepiece in Cypher Lactus Enjoyer, but able to cycle through. Can he cycle again to find the right pieces to get down? Nice Z-spin triple from KGB side. Looking for some skim solutions on KGB side once again to try to get through this cheese. Back and forth game we got here. Both players playing almost at 3 PPS, 3.1 from KGB. We got a lot of different garbages on both sides. Both players not able to APM swing as fast as they would like. They're trying to keep their board as clean as possible with these also spins, but we're seeing a T-spin triple coming up from KGB into a nice down stack, and that's enough to top them. Lactose Enjoyer out. And just like that, we're at a 4-4 tied score. This is anyone's game. The LST once again coming out from both players. 4.4 PPS running from KGB and 2.2, and because of that, Lactose Enjoyer has to use his material to cancel the garbage, which allows KGB to just continue raining Hellfire down with that LST stack. We got a Fractal coming up and MS2 on the other side. Out of the mid game already, and somehow gets topped out. That was like one line of wiggle room that I feel like intuitively I would have also accepted that, but it was just enough to top out their opponent. PC from Lactose Enjoyer. Oh, and misdrop from KGB. And that's enough. And this is match point already, 5-6. And we have 2 TSD openers coming out. KGB striding as fast as they can to try to open up their well, but continues to find that their garbage keeps getting covered, but is able to find a nice spike at the end to tie up the score to 6-6. And once again, this is the fourth time that we're seeing this tiebreaker, and maybe another opportunity to see a 7-6. Oh, and straight into this DPC, but is not fast enough. Having to slow down a little bit after that opener, and it's just continuing to stride back and forth. Lactose Enjoyer with a lot of cheese and not able to really cleanly get out of this situation, needing to use a lot of eyepieces to get through the cheese. And this huge stack from KGB, which not able to actually find a lot of damage, and Lactose Enjoyer not able to find a down stack in that situation, and that's gonna be it. KGB going to the grand finals. Back to the grand finals, as they barely lost the winners semis by once again 7-6. Just like that, we're our final match. Well, to note, like, from the losers bracket, you have to actually reset the bracket and win a second set. So this is, again, an uphill battle for KGB, who is the #1 seed. So anything could happen in this grand finals we have right here. On a first to 11 as well. I think that's for grand finals, yeah. I think we're gonna give we'll see what happens if we're gonna start right now, or I think we're taking a quick, like, 2-minute break. I think the players definitely need it from that performance back to back, 4.5 PPS rounds. And the last set was, once again, tiebreaker, so this is gonna be a very, very close match. At least that's my predictions. So get ready to gamble your points. Man, But overall, we had pretty much everything you could ask for in a tournament. We had players like Mao with crazy spins. We got 6-3 stacking. We got all spin strike. We got an opener, 4.5 PPS, LST. We got STPC, DPC, and we got all these different playstyles coming together. And finally, at the very end, we see, even though Chinook on his statistics here, he has 88 APM versus 113 coming from KGB. It was still a win from Chinook's side for the last set, and we'll have to see that extra game that KGB just had to play could be the make or break from the mental fatigue that he had to go through, and that's just how it is in these tournament settings. It's really about, you know, you have to conserve your energy and your mental. You can't go 100% for 2.5 hours straight. But yeah, get your predictions in before the round starts. This is the grand finals we have here. Once again, there's a reset on KHEB side coming from losers bracket, so they have to win 2 full sets if they want to take the title. For the TAWS U 108. We have both players ready now. It looks like they're opting to not warm up for this grand final set right here. Well, we're about to get started in just a second. For the grand finals for the Tetris Amateur Weeklies series for U ranks and below. And the first one I've commented. Maybe we'll see some more in the future. But let's get right into it. First to 11 for all of the marbles. We have immediately very fast opener. Once again, that seems to be KGB's specialty, or little cocoon or chiffon if you're just tuning in. Both boards seem to be pretty low. As I say that, Chinook building is 12 surge and has to break and barely able to survive just because of that amount of surge he built, and going for this T-spin setup, but the T is too far away and not able to do it. And he should be sending a huge spike, 140 APM. Misdropping the LST in the beginning, but Chinook also misdropping their opener too. Seems like the nerves are getting to them. Nice spins from Chinook here, able to open up their well. Looking for a good piece to put place to put that J piece. Board's still very spiky though, and ooh, looks like they're misdropping. Playing a little slower, but intentional about their placements. This is also a clear divide between their playstyles. We see a more calculated, slow PPS approach versus this full, all gas, no brakes, striding playstyle. And we'll see which one is better in this matchup. This giant 10th column from Chinook. Going to be unfortunate, but K should be taking the second round in a row. Both players in a pretty clean board state right now. KG sending a huge 26 spike. Chinook barely surviving, but not able to downstack after further pressure gets sent their way. And the lead increases to 3 points, but remember, it's a first to 11, it's anyone's game. We could see some random forwarding again, and we'll have to see. Chinook, unfortunate set of pieces trying to get out of that situation. Doesn't look like there's any like clean solution. Pretty slow opener compared to the other rounds we've seen. Nice L spin from Chinook to conserve his back-to-back. You're needing to break with no TPs coming up. KHGB with the awkward stack, but it doesn't matter because Chinook tops out 5-0. And we got this eye dependency on the KHGB side. Not a very clean LST, but able to still stay relatively clean on their board state. Compared to Chinook, who has to deal with 4 different columns of cheese here. And gets sent even more cheese. This looks like an unwinnable spot unless they're able to top out their opponent just barely. Oh my god, like those are the rounds that really matter. Been striding. Getting up the surge, and that's enough. That 154 APM spike to close out the round and increasingly the 6-1. Once again, though, we've seen in the past that KGB has been not either hit or miss sometimes, high roll or low roll as they say these days. Sometimes setting some huge spikes with 4 PPS openers, but we'll have to see Chinook with these really nice spins, finding a nice L spin there to conserve their back-to-back and send a nice spike, but KGB in a very clean board state. If they can get to their right pieces, they can send this right back as a counter spike. They misdrop, and they almost had the eyepiece coming out too. Unfortunately, I'm not able to get that, and it's 6-2. Nice grand finals match. KGB in the lead, but remember we have a reset if they do win. So again, with the high PPS players, it's anyone's game because of the mental fatigue. Like this is a marathon. Could be up to 21 rounds for the full set. Oh wow, KGB not able to get the O piece again. The O piece does not spin. At least in most cases. There are some very rare O-spins that you can do, but not in that situation, especially. We got 4.3 PPS from KGB once again, versus the back-to-back farming from Chinook. And the 4 PPS openers, once again, are the specialty. These are the rounds that stack up very, very quickly. Both players going for the PC no. Chinook with the eye spins. Very, very nice conversions we have here, but a very, very spiky stack on the left side. Both players slowing down and trying to keep their surge alive, but KG having to break. And on the other hand, Chinook is trying his best to downstack out of this. Having a nice clean stack with a T-spin like overhang ready with that piece coming up, but not able to cycle in time. Both players going for some low APM all-spin openers, likely due to misdropping, but it seems like this round is going to be a very slow start, but could ramp up very, very quickly if we we see the garbage start to fly in. The pace is starting to pick up. Huge spike from Chinook's side onto KGB side. Both players just trying to get through all of his trees now. It seems like the flow of the game is starting to slow down. Both players are just trying to get back to a very healthy board state, and looks like KGB's the first one to do so. Chinook on the other hand has to clear this right side of their garbage hole with no eyepiece coming up, and is not able to get into a clean well. 9-3. Just 2 more rounds and it could be a reset, but these vertical eyepieces on Chinook's side have not punished him yet this round, but can be the reason that he tops out eventually if some garbage spawns under it. And this is already match point for the first set. Chinook taking their time trying to stack as clean as possible, but the slow gameplay is the Achilles heel to their opponent, who's just sending consistent back-to-back pressure over and over again. This clean garbage is too much for Chinook to handle here. And we can see the result screen. Once again, there's a huge PPS disparity, a huge APM disparity. But we can't count both players out here because last set was 7-6 before this. So this is still anyone's game. This is the final set. This is the true finals. Yes. And this is the final prediction. So get your last bit of predictions in. Put all of your points in. And we can manipulate the market here a little bit. Not actually, though. What a wild ride this tournament's been. Once again, it seems like between the two players, we have a Strider versus a, I don't even know if it's a Plonker is the right description, because it's all spins, but also like a more efficient playstyle with thinking about more options compared to just placing down pieces that seem to work out. There's some situations we see where KGB ends up in a very unfortunate stack, but is able to get out of it very quickly just through their pure speed advantage. And especially in those rounds, like the last round where Chinook is trying to find a good solution, downstack solution. If they don't play fast enough, then they just get sent another 12 lines, and it doesn't matter if they could get through that cleanly. So we'll have to see in this last round if there's any adaptation or any difference in their play. And both players are ready to go, so we're gonna hop right back into this, the true grand finals, in just a second. Make your predictions quickly before it closes. Looks like it's very lopsided in one way. Very good odds, 1 to 255 if you vote for the other side here. Immediately going to LSP, and we have a immediate break from the back-to-back on Chinook's side, being sent a lot of clean garbage. huge spike coming out, 214 APM, 3.79 PPS from KGB. What a way to start the set and send a message. But once again, this PPS also leads to these misdrops that we're seeing on KGB's board, but the speed might be able to be enough to make up for it. And a huge spike from, once again, KGB on the Chinook's board. But we saw a moment of weakness, 185 PPS though. He was able to bounce back, and this is the true grand finals that we want to see. 4.9 PPS, SDPC looping. Is Chinook able to? No, he's not. Even with the spin, he's not able to cancel enough. And what can you really do about this looping without a good stack? And even in the start of the round, we can see that there's some cheese garbage on Chinook's board, and we're gonna have to see if they can capitalize on that. Able to get to 4 surge, little unfortunately covering the column in the first column the whole, but having to use this eye dependency, and very cheesed up board from Chinook's side. On the other hand, we have KGB, but they're also misdropping a lot right now. This could be a turning point of this round if Chinook's able to make their way down. Looking at KGB's board, they're very, very messy, and also 5 different cheese layers, but able to make their way through all that cheese pretty efficiently without much pressure coming in from the other side. And once again, cheese is now being sent to the others, to Chinook's board. Able to bring their back-to-back to 4 and send it right away for the cheese, but it gets canceled out right away. And once again, Chinook sending it, getting sent a huge spike, 4-0. And here it looks like we have our classic flat top into LSP stacking right here. A little bit of a misstack here, moving the well to the 4th column to the 3rd, but able to get all the way back down. And Chinook dealing with 3 different lines of cheese before this one longer well of clean garbage. Can they find a good down stack combo? They're able to get down pretty well, but they got this 9-0 stack. If they continue to up stack, it might be an issue. Once again, back to 4 surge from Chinook's side compared to KGB with this giant, nice well that they can create attacks from. And it seems to be that KGB is not really trying to build up their surge as much. It seems like this playstyle of just raw APM is enough to send up pressure, but they misdrop and are forced to accept all of that clean garbage. And that might be the round. And this might be the start of the comeback. You never know. This still anyone's game. Ooh, these spins from Chinook's side. Able to find a nice down stack, set 5 different lines of cheese, and although KGB able to immediately send it right back, and but it gets canceled, so both players are able to build up a lot of clean garbage and build up attacks. Chinook finally finding such a good opportunity to build some good back-to-back chaining right now. Can they capitalize on it? They're almost in a good spot here. If they keep sending clean garbage, they could win this round as well. even with the PPS disparity, we can see just how much this the clean stacking really makes a difference. Nice garbage coming from Shinnok's side, where the two lines came in the same exact column as their well. Into neutral mid game right now. Both players without much of a surge, relatively low on the board. Although things are quickly ramping back up. Shinnok with a 10 surge, able to send it right away. And KGB with a very awkward stack again. Trying to find these skims to try to get out as fast as possible. Finds a nice Tetris. Or quad, sorry. Both players slowing down. And this usually happens around the 1 minute mark of these matches where they're going 100%. But you do need a little time to especially after all these rounds of constant pure APM. Both players are slowing down a lot right now. I think the fatigue is truly hitting them right now. Especially with the striding that's going on. Not really timing a lot of these spikes, and the misdrops we're seeing. The comeback is very real. This is still anyone's game. I think people, we saw the last game felt like more KHGB sided, but these kind of playstyles, the slower PPS playstyles are actually really good in these longer drawn out matches because you don't get as mentally fatigued. And when a stride player who's practiced so much of just sending garbage over and over again has to deal with trying to figure out what's the best option when they don't have attacks, it's a very unpracticed ability. And the score is tied. Once again, we see KGB not really going for any surge building here. And on the other hand, Shinnok right here, 130 APM already with a 9 surge still built up, sending it right there, 116 APM. Not able to do too much damage because of the cancellation. And KGB is playing almost 2 times the PPS of Shinnok, but their APM is pretty similar. We have the slower pace 9-0 stacking, but that is the downfall of Shinnok, not having any material to cancel or to funnel in this very flat stack on this 9-0 when the garbage comes on the second column especially. That's the hardest column to get to in that kind of stack. HB with a little bit of a slowing down to make a nice decision on his LST. Very smart. Shinnok, on the other hand, not able to get their eyepiece in time and deal with the clean garbage being sent their way, especially with the 9-0 stack once again. This very recurring theme of 9-0 stacks and 1-8 stacks are the killers of APM. And in these, when you're getting sent a lot of garbage, it's very hard to deal with if you don't have a lot of cancellation material. Shinnok going for this very I would say greedy attempt, because look at the second column, look at the garbage underneath. It's so high to the board unless he gets a nice down stack combo right here, which he does. The greed pays off in a very nice way. And now KGB's at the very top of their board, very cheesed up, and that's all they need. The greed sometimes is worth it. I talk about how you have to play defensively sometimes, but in those situations, the greed is what actually wins you the round. Once again, we have 4.5 PPS from KGB, but this time only 100 APM. With that first bag being used with almost like under 10 APM. accepting the cheese as well on KGB's board. Shinnok, on the other hand, going 1.7 PPS, just trying to be very intentional about their piece placements here. On the other hand, look at this upstacking near the top of their board. Once again, the greed and the upstacking is only a bad thing if you're getting sent garbage. .3 PPS coming out from KGB, and we're able to see the intentional placements from Shinnok once again, trying their best to keep their back-to-back alive when they're not truly in a desperate spot. I'm looking at KGB board. Oh, a very messy stack turns into a nice combo down stack. And then a misdrop could give an edge to Shinnok to build their back-to-back. And being sent, once again, more cheese might be enough to create an advantage here, but looking at all these skims from KGB's side right now, looks like they're KGB's trying to go for that 4 back-to-back, but not able to find a quick solution for that. And a big spike coming out, canceling it with a 13 spike still. And looks like they're trying to find a nice down stack here. Oh, unfortunate. That was... There definitely seemed to be a down stack with a combo down stack with that 20 spike into the Tetris. Unfortunately, could not find a way to skim with those pieces. And here we have a misdrop on KGB's side again. And that's going to be the round, I think. Using that, one of the SRZ pieces on the left side, covering the second column by one too many blocks was the deciding factor between being able to take the Tetris and survive and not. Shinnok trying to get to that 4 surge once again. Oh, going for the forecast on Shinnok's side. They're not able to burst out the pieces fast enough to open the well. So again, we have some striding going on. Just pure APM if possible, and they're not being pressured or sent any cheese or anything like that, so they're just able to continuously rain all this clean garbage, and that just like that they're gonna make their way to match point, and this might be the last round of the entire tournament. We'll have to see what opener they go for. It goes back into LST. 4.5 PPS LST once again. Is there any answer to this time? Oh, and the misdrop comes out from Shinnok. Can he make it? He's able to make it through. Come on. I'm rooting for him. Maybe I shouldn't be, but he's almost there with a giant well. On the other hand, he should be at the very bottom of their board. A very clean stack being sent clean garbage again. Now that the tides have turned again. Very messy board for Shinnok here. Able to find some good all spins, but is it enough with this board and all this cheese garbage? It's not enough, and that is gonna be it for the Tetrio Amateur Weeklies U108, and KGB is your champion. Wow. See, and like, congratulations to KHEB. Very hard fought, very long and arduous tournaments for them. Coming back from the losers bracket all the way. 7-6 in the semifinals. 7-6 in the losers finals. And able to close it out just like that. And wow, I'm tired from watching these matches. I can't imagine how the players feel. Once again, congratulations. Valiant effort from all the players. Shinnok for second place. And we had Lactose Enjoyer for third place. And Curse for fourth place. Great performances from everybody. And once again, the different playstyles we saw, even with the PPS disadvantage, still relatively close matches. Close rounds especially. Definitely some rounds where that PPS advantage was a huge deciding factor. But yes, before we end the stream, we actually have a raffle. We have a raffle coming up. Some more details on that in a second. We're gonna spin the wheel to decide who is going to win. And the wheel is spinning. I'm watching this live, so the commentary might be delayed, but the prize goes to, I believe, Crystallized. And just like that, 1 month of Tetru supporter to Crystallize. Congratulations for the month of supporter. Congratulations. And that's not all. We're gonna have a graphic coming up on screen to see some other exciting events coming up in the future. We have Stride 2026, which is presented by both TAWS and PKGB here. This is going to be on March 20th to 22nd. If you are able to attend, I would highly recommend. Got a bunch of different games for Tetris players, as well as Puyo Puyo and Tetris Effect Connected. So if you're interested, totally come out, because I think we need more community events like this. And every single person that comes to these is just another sign that we can host more tournaments and more community events like this, which is awesome, which is great. So there's a link in the chat. If you're, before we end the stream, you should check it out. And with that, I think, thank you guys so much for tuning in to the 108th iteration of the Tetru Amateur Weeklies U edition. And I have been Donkey. I have that one Tetris video I think some people probably know about, but either way, whatever. been a great stream, a great tournament, and it's been an honor to commentate. Thank you guys so much. And if you guys have any questions or anything, you can leave them in the chat. I'll probably hang around for a little bit, but other than that, I'm gonna head off. So good luck in TL, and if you're interested, join the next TAWS. Either U rank or just the regular for SS and below. Alright, thanks guys. Peace. See ya.